As an online business owner, if you're only tracking Instagram likes or new followers, you might be missing the KPIs that actually grow your business. I'm going to show you the exact metrics I track as a CEO of a 7-figure online course creating business so you can maybe start shifting to the things that are going to grow your business instead of vanity metrics. After building courses that serve thousands of women, running a digital team, and staying wildly profitable without burnout, I want to share these KPIs that keep us focused and actionable. Now, today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 different KPIs, but I really want to help you understand we track more than this inside of the business. But I wanted to pull out 5 that I believe are critical for you to be tracking regularly. And when I say regularly, I'm not meaning once a month. All right, this is data in some situations I'm looking at daily, but always weekly. So the first one I want to cover, which is, I believe, the most obvious, but I'm astounded at how many business owners don't actually have visibility into this easily. And it is your revenue, right? Meaning how much money is coming in. I know a lot of people out there will have bookkeepers that do their bookkeeping for them. You need to establish a relationship with your bookkeeper where you are getting that data on a weekly basis, not waiting till 10 days after the month ends to get the data for how last month went, because you're not going to be able to respond and make really good decisions in the moment for things that have happened in the past, right? So you need to make sure that you are seeing on the regular what your revenue is. Advanced pro tip here, if you're running a serious business, you should have done some kind of revenue forecasting each year as well. So not only am I looking at revenue, but I'm seeing, is it tracking to what I had planned for the month? Now, people always ask, who's my bookkeeper? I actually have been trained in this, so I do manage my own books, so it's very easy. I'm actually looking at that number daily. The second KPI I want to talk about, and this really is true, especially if you're investing in spending money in advertising. All right. And it is your cost per lead, or CPL, meaning how much money are you investing in your advertising dollars for someone to kind of get into your world, meaning you have a way to communicate with them. In the simplest of way, how much money are you spending for someone to, let's say, give you their email address so that now you can be in conversation with them? I kind of want to put a pause on this cost per lead. We're going to revisit this here in a second because I want to jump to the third KPI, which is the cost to convert that person to actually be spending money. All right. So the second KPI is your CPL, your cost per lead. But then this third one is how much money are you spending to actually get them to become a customer? These two numbers are very different. One of the things that frustrates me to no end is I see a lot of people who are in the space where they say that they will run ads for you. All right, so it's somebody, either an agency or a contractor, or somebody that you're hiring to run your ads. A lot of times I see them solely focused on cost per lead, CPL, CPL. If you are in this position where somebody is running paid ads for you, and all they're doing is reporting to you their CPL, and you are measuring their success by how little they can spend to get you a lead, if you are not tracking the cost to convert them to a customer, you are missing the boat. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you've got someone who's really excited and they're like, I'm getting leads onto your email list for $1.07. This is fantastic. And maybe they're getting you 50 new leads a day at that $1.07. They're like, I'm crushing it. Well, if none of those people are actually ever buying anything from you, who cares what the cost per lead is, right? The real measurement of success, I believe, is how much money are you spending to convert them into actually paying you for your product or your service. So maybe you're getting a lead at $1.07, but you are spending over time $150 before that person gives you $27. This is not a great situation, right? On the flip side, maybe you're getting a cost per lead at $3, but the cost to convert is only $7, and they're giving you $27, right? I would take that higher cost per lead all day long if the cost to convert them to a customer is making sure that I am profitable. So this is why I feel like you kind of have to talk about those two KPIs together, because if all you're doing is tracking your cost per lead, but you're not tracking anything to determine, are they the right leads, right? Am I attracting the right people? Then the cost per lead, in my opinion, becomes another vanity metric. So we've covered the first three. What is revenue, right? Constantly keeping a pulse on the revenue coming in. The second, especially if you're running paid campaigns, what's the cost to get a new person, a warm lead into your world? The third one, how much money are you spending to convert them to an actual sale? Now, the fourth one is profitability. This really frustrates me in the online space. You hear all these people selling their products and services, highlighting the fact of, I'm going to teach you how to do what I just did because I just had a $100,000 event, right? It was amazing. Well, unless they tell you what they profited from that, I'm not interested. I know I've met many online businesses that have had the, infamous six-figure launch. Oh, I did this event and I made $100,000, but what they haven't told you is that maybe they only profited $10,000. They could have spent $60,000 in ads and another $30,000 on their team for the month, and that's all everybody worked on. So at the end of the day, they profited $10,000. On the flip side, I know people who've had $50,000 events where they've only spent $5,000, which means they've profited $45,000. That is the business I would rather have, right? So if you're tracking revenue, but you're not tracking profitability, then again, it just becomes a vanity metric. You really need to know, what profit margins do you want from this, and how are you tracking to that every single month? Now, the fifth KPI I want to share with you ties a little bit into the cost per lead, but pretty much all online business owners know the power of having an email list, right? This is how you can proactively communicate with the people that have raised their hand saying, I'm interested in learning more from you, right? You need to be tracking the quality of that email list growth. So maybe you're running ads, you're getting those cost per leads, right? And you know that you're growing your email list by 3% every single month. That's fantastic, but it becomes a vanity metric if nobody's opening your emails, right? So I really, really, really encourage you to be tracking, are people opening them and or clicking, right? If it's an email where you want people to click a button, are they actually doing that? Because this is going to help you understand, is your messaging right? Right? We're sending all these emails. Is it adding any value? Is anybody opening them? Is anybody clicking them? And if not, now you need to dig into why. Is it that your emails aren't great? Or is it that you're bringing the wrong people in? So again, I hear people talk about, oh, well, here's the size of my email list. Like, okay, but how engaged is it? Again, I would rather run with a smaller email list that has a 60% open rate than a massive email list with a 15% open rate, right? Because if people aren't opening the emails, then that means they're not reading the messages that I am sending to them. So again, I can't stress this enough. There's a lot of more KPIs that I believe you should be tracking as a business owner. We have a pretty massive KPI tracking sheet, and each department in the Pink Bee is responsible for monitoring the KPIs that are relevant to them. And then as the CEO, I have my own dashboard that pulls up the high-level ones that I need to be keeping my eyes on. So quick recap again. What is your revenue? What dollars are coming in? What is your cost per lead? What is your cost per sale? What is your profit? And then the engagement on your actual email list. So these are 5 I just want to give you here today. Now, if you believe that there is one as a CEO, as a business owner that trumps all of these, or that needs to be included in the must-have, please share it in the comments below. I would love to hear what other people are tracking. I track, I think, 18 things monthly at my CEO dashboard level. Some are unique to our business. Some, I believe, are just being a responsible CEO. But I'd love for you to share in the comments below what KPIs you believe are critical to track as well.